This new Samsung Gear headset that you've partnered on is getting so much buzz, $99. At the same time, though, it's not to Oculus Rift. Why do this partnership now when consumers are waiting for Rift?
So we partnered with Samsung actually over 2 years ago, and we want to get virtual reality out into the hands of as many people as possible. And mobile VR is very accessible, and it's going to appeal to new and different audiences, and especially at $99 paired with your smartphone, we think it's going to open up VR to just a bigger audience. So we're really excited about the partnership with Samsung and the new consumer Gear VR.
So you're forging partnerships with Netflix, Hulu, Fox, Lionsgate in terms of content. What kinds of content is going to be available in the near term, and how do you share revenue on that content? Do you get a cut of what Netflix or Hulu gets?
So we're partnered with, we announced a lot of big partnerships today with different game developers as well as entertainment and film studios and producers and services like Netflix and Hulu and the ones that you mentioned. So we're just trying to provide as much entertainment as possible on the Gear VR and on Rift for users to enjoy. And these companies, these partners, are really, really excited about virtual reality and about where this is all going to go. And they want to get in on the ground floor. They want to get in now.
So can you give us any idea about how the revenue share works? Like, what cut does Oculus get of it?
So right now we're really focused on bringing these partners on board. We haven't and won't announce any of the kind of exact terms of this, but you can imagine that this is the early days, and we're doing everything we can do to support them, and they're doing everything they can do to support us, because they're just as enthusiastic about where this is all going to go as we are.
Okay, so content is one thing, exclusive content is another. How important is exclusive content to Oculus, stuff you can only see when you use your headsets? So
the content that you have on these devices is certainly going to be a big driver of who's going to come onto the platform and who's going to buy the product. And at Oculus, we actually don't have that much exclusive content. What we have is a lot of first-party and second-party content. There's a lot of content where we've gone out and actually fully funded the entire game. And we consider that more of this kind of first-party approach, like a Microsoft on Xbox would have Halo. We have this whole suite of games that are only going to be on our platform because we paid for the full development right from the beginning, like a first-party game.
You know, earlier this week I was speaking with Jens Christensen, the CEO of Jaunt VR, who told me he thinks virtual reality will be mainstream as early as next year. This Samsung Gear headset certainly seems like this could make that possible. When do you think that VR is actually going to be mainstream, and how many headsets initially do you expect to sell?
Well, I think it really depends on what your definition of mainstream is. We definitely believe that the mass market, there's going to be a lot of adopters, early adopters of VR. But if you're looking at the kind of smartphone scale, if you're looking at, billions of users out there, that's going to take a long time. We said today that this is just the beginning, and year over year, it's going to grow into something big, but it really is going to start small, and everybody's getting in now because they're so excited about the potential, and this will just grow over the next few years, like smartphones did in the early days. It'll take a while, but it'll get very big in the future.
Okay, so being part of Facebook, what do you see for the potential of social and interactive VR experiences? Obviously, Facebook has a huge chunk of the video market now. When are we going to be able to experience Oculus on the Facebook newsfeed, for example?
So Mark announced, I think yesterday, Facebook announced that they have 360 videos in newsfeed, and that's just the first step. That's not full, true virtual reality. That's 360 video, and you can experience it in a VR headset. But you can imagine that over time, we're going to go to new capture devices that actually capture true 3D. So you can capture a moment in real, true 3D, not 2D, not an old photo or video, but actually this fully immersive experience that you can share with others, and they'll feel like they're right there with you. So maybe it's your kid's birthday, and now you can share it with your family, and they can feel like they're actually at the birthday party with you. And that's going to be very big, and that's what I think Scott and Mark and the Facebook team is so excited.
Now, how do you see the market for Gear versus Rift? If Gear is more of a mass market product, how many people are going to fork over potentially hundreds of dollars more, maybe $1,000 more for Rift? Who's going to buy that, and how will the experience be different?
So we really look at both of these as mass market products. Again, they're going to start small and the audience will build over time, but I think that there's going to be a very, very strong enthusiast market on the Oculus Rift. There's hundreds of millions of players of PC video games. So a lot of people say, oh, the PC is in decline. Actually, the PC gaming market is growing year over year. It's getting bigger and bigger. And so there's this huge, super enthusiastic space there. And also, PC VR is going to expand to new users. So you're going to have PC VR at a higher price point, and we think it's going to be very, very big. And then you're going to have mobile VR at a much, much lower price point, more accessible for a somewhat different audience that's also going to be super compelling. And we're going to play in both.
Now, I know you're not given a launch date for Rift right now, but can you give us an idea? We're still expecting Rift to come out early next year. Is that still the case? Will we see it in the first quarter? And what can you tell us about cost? How much is this going to cost?
So the Rift is on schedule. The team is making incredible progress, and we are going to be shipping in Q1 of next year, and super excited about that. The team's working really, really hard. We haven't announced the price yet, but what we did say is you can have a Rift and a new PC, because many people will need new PCs. There are certainly some PC enthusiasts that already have their own PC and they'll just upgrade a video card, or maybe they even have everything they need. But for a lot of users, they'll need that new PC and that Rift, and the combined price is going to be $1,500 or less. You will be able to scale up and get bigger, more expensive PCs if you want, but there will be a $1,500 option, and that's something we're super excited about. And that's not the headset alone. That's a headset with a PC. The headset alone is much, much cheaper.
And just last question, as you scale up the product and think about what that looks like, what about the business model? Do you see advertising within Oculus, and what does that look like?
We're not thinking about advertising at all right now. We're thinking about advertising our own product out in the world to get more people to grab a Rift or a Gear VR. But in VR advertising is not something that we're considering at all right now.